Winning
Pick
Weekly.
Smith for the win.
Raisi K.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back for another college football episode, week 9 on Winning Picks Weekly. Thank you for coming out with us. Knicks coming, Jets coming, etc. Period. YouTube. If you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify, thank you for that. As always, joined by Chip Murphy at Chip Murphy 7 on Twitter, my boy Greg at Winning P Weekly. What's up, guys? We are officially at the end here. I'm sweating. Every game matters for my conference bets. Every game matters for the college football championship. And we have a nice, fun Michigan scandal just to round it out on top of all of it. Who knows what's going to go on? I don't know if you guys want to start anywhere here before we get into our Friday slate. Or Thursday. You guys have Thursday games? We are recording on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Chip.
Let's do it, Chip.
Start off with the Thursday before we talk about anything else.
No. I mean, start whatever you guys want to do. I wasn't going to take Cuse just because I want to be off them so bad, but the fact that there's money on Virginia Tech, and I feel like, why is there money on Virginia Tech? And then Cuse was +4, and then it went down to 2.5 today, and I'm like, I gotta take Cuse. And I'm not going to take the 2.5. I'm going to take the money line probably too. So I know they're on the road, but like, man, it's Virginia Tech. They haven't been good in forever. And I'm going to be watching the game anyway. So I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to take Cuse. And I'm also taking Georgia Southern -2 against Georgia State.
Okay, thank God. All right, this is like, I don't want to take Thursday games, but I started off here, talking about the conference and the futures. I need Georgia Southern to win. It's not even a question anymore. In order for the only East teams I have, because James Madison can't make it yet, the only East teams I have is Georgia Southern and Coastal. And the only way those two teams are going to make it is if Georgia State loses to Georgia Southern today. It's basically a pick 'em. I'm going all in on Georgia Southern. I need it. I need it more than anything, unless I have a lot of futures that are going to be trashed. So give me Georgia Southern Thursday night. Big game for me. big game for my futures. I know it's a random Thursday. I know we're excited about Tampa versus the Bills. Go check out the NFL episode if you're interested in that. But I'm happy you're with me on Georgia Southern there, Chip. I'm all in.
Absolutely.
Greg, do you have a Friday game for us?
I do not. I don't have anything Thursday, anything Friday. Just saving up. Last week was my first losing week. I was 6-7 on the program, so I got to be better. Got to do better. Not taking anything on Thursday, Friday. Just loading up on Saturday.
Well, there's only one game on Friday. It's for Atlantic versus Charlotte.
Yep.
I would say no one in the right mind will take that, but I know we have Chip on the pod. So Chip, what do you got on Friday?
I know I'm going to pass on that game. Even I had I was even worse than Greg last week, so I was way worse than him. And I'm gonna I'm gonna have some restriction with that game. I'm gonna pass on that one.
All right, deal.
Smart.
All right, why don't you start us off here? Saturday at noon. Not the best slate, honestly, this week. A couple of very important games, but not the greatest slate, in my opinion. What do you guys got rolling for 12? If anything.
I'll start it off right here. Best bet of the day. Penn State -32. Going up against Indiana. Bounce back game here for them. Absolutely disgusting performance against Ohio State last week. I'm wearing the scarlet red to show my repentance for ever thinking that Penn State could win a big game on the road. I mean, absolutely disgusting game plan coming out the gate, throwing the ball a zillion times for no reason. They ended up 1-16 on third down. Disgusting play by this Penn State offense. So I think they get it back in motion, obviously, against Indiana. I think they score maybe 50 this week. They're definitely going to cover the 32 number. So best bet 1, noon kickoff, Penn State versus Indiana -32.
All right. The only way I could possibly touch this game is if I take the first quarter, and it's 6.5. So it's -180. So I'll throw that in just for you, Greg. I'll ride. I'll throw that into a parlay. Give me Penn State. First quarter minus 6.5. It's the only decent number I could find.
Perfect.
Chip, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Greg on Penn State minus 32 for sure. I think they're just gonna pummel them. I've been fading Indiana all year, so for 2 years now since we started doing this podcast.
Yeah,
they've been a good team to fade since we started doing this podcast. So I'm all in on fading Indiana, especially in this situation when Penn State is just going to be looking to take out their frustrations on someone, and they have the perfect team to do it to, the worst team possible. So
yeah,
I think they're going to pound him.
All right. What else do you got going for noon?
I'm hoping Greg will be with me on this one. I got Northwestern plus 14 against Maryland. I'm fading Maryland again. I know Maryland is terrible on the road against the spread. Terrible. I know Northwestern isn't great, but I'm fading Maryland here. When I saw Northwestern plus 14, I was like, I got to take this. There's no way Maryland's covering that many points on the road. I'm taking this right now. Absolutely. Maybe I'm going to do what you do, John, and take like first half or first quarter or something too, because I feel like Northwestern could get off to a good start in this game. So I may take like first quarter.
So that's a great angle, Chip. So
yeah,
the problem is for me is, yes, I go first quarter, first half, but that's so I could take the favorite. That's because I really want the favorite. And I don't want to bet against it. I just want them for a decent number. And then when I look at it, and if it's not a good number, if it's outside the football number, I just stay away. I'm not. I haven't been smart enough, Chip, to be able to just pivot to that side and say, okay, I'm just gonna take the football number regardless. And in this case, like I just stay away instead. And in your case, like Northwestern, first half is plus 7.5, great number. Or you want plus 3.5 first quarter, great number. Like great number for. Maybe I should start doing that, but if it's not good enough for me and my number, I just stay away. But maybe it's time to look the other way. It's not a bad thought. Maybe I'll do one parlay, fading myself. The fade myself parlay. All right. Do you have anything for else here going for 12 here, Greg? Because I really don't have much, to be honest.
I'm gonna ride with Chip on Northwestern. I'm gonna take that plus 14. Right away, my first thought was take the under. 85% of the money is on the under 49. So I stayed away from the game at first, but 91% of the money is on Maryland. All the money being on the under 49. If it's under 49, you're giving me 14 points. There's not like I need 14 points and I'm in the game. So give me Northwestern. I like to play, Chip. Really fading the public. Like I've never faded the public before. Like 9% of the money is on it. And
90% of the money on Maryland. Play. Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. And it's a tough place to play at 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning, not for the reasons that you would think, because it is so quiet and because it is so pedestrian. Noon games. I'm riding with Kansas. I'm riding with Kentucky. Kansas plays plus 10. Try to pull up who they play. I forget.
Well, Kansas
Oklahoma.
is 9.5 now.
Kansas is Oklahoma.
9.5. 9.5. I'll take
9.5 on FanDuel. 9 on DraftKings.
9. I'll take 9. Whatever you want.
I'll take 9.5 on FanDuel. If I were you, I'll take the half.
True. I did have a push last week, so let's try to get those half numbers in there. 9.5. Yeah, Oklahoma last week, a little bit of a letdown. I think most of us saw that coming. I talked about it. I still went on the over 64.5, and they couldn't get it done. I think Kansas is a tough opponent. They can score the over 65.5. However, 62% of the money is on the under. So might be a little closer than we think. I think Oklahoma, there's a little bit of a letdown now with them. I think they're going to win the game. I just don't think they cover the 9.5, 10 points. So give me Kansas. I think their offense is good enough to keep it close. And then speaking of Kansas, give me let's stay with the K's. Let's go with K-State. K-State's back and moving. They got a new quarterback in. He's playing well. Going up against Houston, Chip's Houston team that we've talked about all season has stunk. So K-State's back and rolling. Let's go with minus 17 at home against a bad Houston team. I think that's going to do it for my noon slate. I love that noon slate. Just 4 solid games to start my day. Couple underdogs, couple favorites all over the place.
Okay,
Listen,
well,
I
if you're
really
taking K-State, I'm sold on them now because I wasn't
okay.
I wasn't in on that game at all. But K-State now against Houston, 17. I'm taking that one too.
You know what, Chip? I'm on the same boat because Greg swayed me on a game, not on the K-State though, but on Kansas. Like Kansas plus 9.5. I'm down to fade Oklahoma. Everybody's all over Oklahoma now, especially because in people's weird brains, like Texas, Quinn Ewers went down. So they're like, okay, now Oklahoma's going to roll, even though like literally right now it has nothing to do with each other. But to me, it has an opposite effect. I think it's going to be a closer game than we think. I think Oklahoma could even fall this weekend to Kansas, which would be insane.
Could. Yeah.
I'm taking the 9.5. I'm with you, Greg. You are you're spraying picks all over the board here for us.
Yeah, I like that. I like that we're teaming up instead of going head to head. We needed after last week. Got to ride. You got to get back on the boat.
You guys have anything going else at noon?
Well, I'm not going to be the only one who doesn't take Kansas, so I'll take Kansas. I was going to take the over.
I'm the only. Well, listen. To be fair, I'm the only one not taking Kansas State, and that's for you guys.
Yeah,
that's to save you guys. That's why I'm not there.
I was going to take the over in Kansas, Oklahoma, but I'm not going to take both. So I'll take Kansas. I just think there's going to be a bunch of points. Kansas is coming off a bye too, by the way, which they have a really good coach, so I think that benefits them.
Yeah, I might hit up that Kansas money line. I'm also taking Florida State first quarter -4.5 on FanDuel. I got to do it. It's a good number. It's 6.5 everywhere else. 4.5 on FanDuel. Don't know why. Don't care. It's -128 instead of 110. That's fantastic. Give me it. All right. Going into the afternoon. A lot. Again, games that I want to watch. Not that many games that I want to bet. That said, I have a best bet right off the bat.
Ooh.
And that's Duke. That's against everyone's favorite Louisville team. I love what Duke's doing. +4.5. I even like the money line if you really want. But I like the +4.5 from Duke. First best bet of the day.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Riley Leonard wanted to play last week.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that.
If he's healthy, they definitely win.
What do you think about Duke, Chip?
I mean, their defense is amazing. It's one of the best in the country for sure. I think Riley Leonard banged up, can't run.
You wanted to play, Chip.
I know he wants to play, but there's a reason Elko's keeping him out of the game. He doesn't want him to get hurt because he's going to be playing in the NFL at some point. I don't know, man. I have a lot of trust in their defense. And the thing is, they have great running backs too. It's not just like Riley Leonard. Like last week, they played Florida State. Like without Riley Leonard, they can't beat Florida State. I'm not convinced they can't beat Louisville without a healthy Riley Leonard. Like they beat NC State without him. Louisville's obviously better than NC State, but I don't think they're like as amazing as we crowned them after they beat Notre Dame. So I think Louisville's very beatable. I like that pick. I'm with you on Duke. And the money line, that's, I think, a good play too. We still have no idea what's going on with Riley Leonard, though. And I'm sure it'll be a game time decision again. And who knows if he'll play and for how long he'll play too. Like, is he going to play a quarter and then have to hobble out of the game? I don't know. It's the whole situation with him is unfortunate, but looked like it was going to be a amazing, maybe like a 10-win season for Duke, something crazy like 9 or 10, but which I still think is possible, actually. But we'll see. I don't know. I do like Duke there, though. That's the one.
Yeah, I'm
Duke
staying away. I'm
+1.5.
staying away until I get an injury report, till we get closer to the game. So again, follow us on Twitter, Chip Murphy 7, Winning Pete Weekly. We'll be tweeting stuff out.
Yeah.
Dude, 3:00 slate. One game is catching my eye, and I'm not sure if I should make it a best bet, Chip. I need you to talk to me about it a little bit here. I like the under in the Texas game. Ewers is out, like you said. They're rolling with the freshman Malik Murphy. Don't know what you're getting from him. BYU 5-2. Texas is home, so that benefits them. The spread is 17 to 19 points, depending on what sports book you're looking at. And all the money is on the over. 70% of the money is on the over. I like fading the public here. I like going with the under. I'm not scared of BYU's offense when it comes to the over number. Could be wrong in that sense, unless you think different going up against this Texas defense. And I just don't know what I'm getting from
50 is a
Texas
low number
offense.
for a Texas game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. Didn't that
I mean,
kid
just
play
looking at
well last year, though, when Ewers got hurt? Or he played all right?
See, that's why I was trying to remember if he was on the team last year, but
I thought he
I was
was the
trying to
guy who
look up.
played last year when Ewers got hurt. Maybe
I
I'm
thought
wrong.
so too. I was trying to look up his stats and I just couldn't find them. But yeah, if it is the guy from last year, he played good. It's just not the same. They weren't the same last year. I don't think they're going to be the same again this year.
No, he didn't.
So,
They had Bijan Robinson last year, right? So
yeah,
they weren't the same offense.
yeah.
I don't know. I like the under, I think, is no, I definitely wouldn't play the over with a backup quarterback coming in. So I think the under is the right move. I also don't trust them to cover that many points with a backup quarterback. So I like the under there. I didn't realize BYU was 5-2. I thought they were terrible this year. And no one's
Yeah, they're
talked
doing
about them.
pretty good.
Everybody said they were going to be terrible, and now they're going to go to a bowl game like they usually do.
Yeah. Yeah, and not with anything spectacular on their team. I mean, they're playing good. They're not really beating anyone crazy. They lost to Kansas. They lost to TCU. I mean, maybe Cincinnati's the best win on their schedule.
Arkansas, maybe.
Arkansas is atrocious. I watched some of that game. Oh my god,
Texas
they're so bad.
So
I haven't watched.
But yeah, give me the under in Texas, and then also give me Auburn -6.5. I had them. I had Ole Miss last week against Auburn, and I think they played them pretty good. Ole Miss ended up covering the game, but I liked what I saw in Auburn. This week they're going up against Mississippi State. I don't love what I see from Mississippi State.
They're terrible.
Yeah,
and their quarterback's hurt still, right?
I think so. Yeah, Will Rogers. I think he's still hurt. Like I said, I liked what I saw from Auburn last week, and I don't like what I see from Mississippi State. Auburn's home. It's only a touchdown. It actually scares me a little bit how easy I think this one might be. But I'm still going to take it. I'm going to take that cheese and go for a SEC team against another SEC team at home, given less than a touchdown. I feel like that's a decent bet. So, yeah, give me Auburn at home in the 3:00 slate.
Eventually, Hugh Freeze is going to win an SEC game, right?
Yeah, it's got to happen eventually. I just hope it's by 7 points.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, my question to you guys, real quick, is Archie going to get in there?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
not unless it's garbage time.
What if the quarterback just stinks? Because he was just like kind of like an RPO kind of guy. From at least from just last week.
I think he'd have to be really bad.
Okay.
For Arch to get in there.
All right.
Like, because if he goes in there, then it's a thing.
Yeah, that's true. You can't get him out.
Like, what if he goes in there and he plays really, really well or something?
Okay, that makes sense.
Then it's like a thing. Or if he plays terrible, then it's a
I mean, if he plays good, I don't know how that's a bad thing, but I get what you're saying.
No, it's not a bad thing, of course. But then it's like, then it becomes like, oh, we want more Arch. You know, like, because it's not like Quinn Ewers has been. Yeah. Oh, well, that's what I mean. Like, it becomes like, oh, well, look how good Arch was. What if he gives us a better chance to beat OU in the championship game than Ewers did? Because Ewers lost to Oklahoma.
That's what I'm saying.
You know I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a good problem to have. They might be. I think they want to have that problem because I don't think Ewers can beat Oklahoma. So we'll see.
I don't know if he can't.
He's hurt.
I don't know if he can't beat Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma's really good and Texas is really good. I think. I don't know. That's another podcast, but I think Oklahoma's better. I don't think either team is like a national championship contender.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going with a sharp bet here. I'm going with the Gators at home plus 14.5 football number against the overrated Georgia Bulldogs. Big injury. Their best players out. I honestly think Florida could win. I know that sounds crazy. It's in the swamp though. in the swamp. Did Florida have a bye?
I think
Pretty
so.
sure they had, dude, this is such a good spot for Florida. Honestly, like they could beat Georgia, and everyone could lay out a huge sigh of relief where everyone has a loss in the SEC and everything's okay. Everyone can finally breathe. So it's not what happens if Georgia goes undefeated and then loses, and now we have this whole mix-up of ranking conferences.
Yep.
I think Georgia takes the L this week. I'm not going to take the money line. In a Hail Mary, I will, but generally I'm taking the 14.5.
Usually I'm the one who falls for all the hype here. So I was a little concerned that I was going to come in and be like, oh, I'm on the Florida bandwagon. I'm taking Florida against Georgia. But John, you took Florida first. So I don't feel too bad betting against Georgia. So I'm taking Florida plus 14.5. I felt like Georgia is the new Alabama, which we used to say you don't make any money betting against Saban or against Bama. And now we can say that about Georgia. You don't make any money betting against Georgia and Kirby Smart. But you are right in that they're banged up. And I don't think they're overrated, but they don't look invincible. And maybe we jumped the gun at the beginning of the season, me included, in burying Florida. I mean, turns out Utah's defense is just maybe the best defense in the country. So that's the team that they lost to. Maybe Florida's actually pretty good. So yeah, and also 14.5. God, I love that.
Crazy.
I love 14.5 so much.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
I love that so much. I have to take that.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm with you. Are you guys taking anything for Oregon, Utah, and Purdue, Nebraska? I mean, I like Oregon and I like Nebraska. Obviously, it's just the Utah number scares me.
I love Utah.
Yeah, I'm taking Utah plus the points.
You think
at
they're gonna
home.
win?
Utah hasn't been a dog. Utah hasn't been a dog at home since 2018. You think they don't know that? They're pissed, dude. They're pissed that they're getting disrespected like that. I think I'm taking a money line. I think they're gonna win that game.
That would suck for me. So I hope you're really, really wrong. All right, let's stick. Let's stick
Do
with
you have Oregon to win the
Nebraska.
Pac-12?
Yeah, I need Oregon to win the Pac-12.
Oh
Bad.
yeah.
Bad. Oh, so bad. And if
Okay, never mind. I hope they don't win. Sorry.
and if JJ McCarthy's now officially out of the Heisman for some reason, I really need Oregon because my Bo Nix future will be good to go.
Yeah.
Why would JJ? Oh, because of the Michigan stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Scandal.
Scandal. Are they even gonna be allowed, Chip? Are they even gonna be allowed in the playoff, Chip? Are they gonna be allowed in their own conference finals, Chip? Who knows? Tune in next week.
Get refund. Are we all going to get refunded on our bets because of it?
I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Everyone talking rumors about how they've been refunded Aaron Rodgers bets. Go to my FanDuel. None of them have been refunded. I don't know who started this crazy rumor. I have Aaron Rodgers MVPs and I have a million of them. So I don't know who's refunding what, but they missed my account. No one's refunding nothing, Chip.
I don't know about that. I had to cash out my Jets Super Bowl bet after Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So
I still have it rolling. We'll see. Yeah, roll straight to the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Are you taking Nebraska though? -2.5 home versus Purdue.
Can't
Trying to
do
win
it.
the division.
No.
Can't do it. Cannot put my hard-earned money on Nebraska.
I'm taking a break from Nebraska football. They've hurt me too many times.
A true degenerate sentence. I'm taking a break from Nebraska football.
All right. What do you guys have? Anything else in the afternoon here?
USC at 4:00 -11. I think they bounce back here against Cal. I know it's on the road, but I don't think it matters. Not sure what Cal's home field advantage is, if anything. I think USC rolls here. 88% of the money is on Cal.
That's crazy.
I'm not sure why or Caleb Williams, as far as I know, is healthy. He just hasn't played well the last 2 weeks and has played really good teams the last 2 weeks. Cal is not a really good team. I think that if USC won last week, the spread is 20. Instead, because they lost 2 weeks in a row, it's 11. So, yeah. And again, I don't know why Cal has 88% of the money on them. That freaks me out a little bit. So
it's actually 10.5, Greg, which I like. I'm taking 10.5 with you.
Cool. 10.5 works. Get rid of those pushes. But yeah, that's it until the 7 o'clock slate for me.
Chip.
Michigan State, Minnesota under. It's 40 right now. I think that's going to be really low scoring. Minnesota won last week, big win against Iowa. I think they're going to win. Obviously, this one I don't know the spread even. I didn't even write it down, but I think it's going to be very ugly.
7.
Michigan State's offense is terrible. Minnesota's 7. Yeah, maybe I'll take that too. But yeah, Minnesota's just going to smack them around, and yeah, I like very low scoring. Minnesota's game against Iowa was in the 20s last week, so I think this one could end up being in that area next week too.
Chip, if I were to tell you that 95% of the money for the spread is on one team, which team would it be and why?
In this game,
Yep.
I assume you're saying this because it's on Michigan State.
Yes. And
Why
why?
in the hell is it on Michigan State?
95%. Is that just because no one's bet on Minnesota yet, maybe? And someone put $15 or $20 on Michigan State? I have no idea. I can't figure that out. Like, I saw this spread. I saw this money, and I was just like, I don't know much about Minnesota. I know enough about Michigan State to know that there should never be 95% of the money on them. So
No.
I think I'm running with you, but I'm going spread instead of the under. I'm going Minnesota -7.
I like Minnesota. I'm scared of it, but I like it. We'll see how I'm doing by the afternoon.
Yep.
That's my maybe card. It's on my maybe card. Maybe I'll just take them spread. I mean, I'll just take the money line in a parlay.
95% of the money. My God.
Bounce
Yeah.
back. All right. Are you guys touching Notre Dame Pitt or no? It's too much,
Nope.
right? Too many points.
Yep. Too many
Over.
points in the over-under is weird, 44.
Yeah, I'm taking the -4.5 on FanDuel first quarter, but I'm not happy about it.
They're favored by 20 points. Jeez.
Yeah,
20
20
points
and a
at
half.
home against Pitt, and the spread is 44. It's like if you're Pitt and you get a touchdown, you're in the game. You have 27 points in a 44-point game.
Yeah.
I mean, each team is projected to score
weird.
22.
Pitt's weird.
Yeah, they're all over the
They're
place.
touch bet because they could beat Notre Dame and they could lose to freaking an FCS team, and that also wouldn't surprise me. They're just weird. Every year they do something stupid, and they
Yeah.
also beat someone they shouldn't beat. So, but they already did that. They beat Louisville, so they already had that game.
True.
All right. I'm taking the first quarter -4.5. Don't care. Have to do it. I'm throwing it in that parlay. But that's
I like
about
it.
it. I mean, I don't want to take Tulane versus Rice, even though,
Mm.
oh my goodness gracious.
Sean, the money, though.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The money.
Everybody's on Rice. What's happening? 95% of the money and 95% of the bets are on Rice versus
I know. I
Tulane.
tried to look. I tried to figure out what's going on for what I was able to see. Like everyone's healthy on Tulane. There's no change from last week.
All right, so I'm taking Tulane first quarter -2.5.
I'll check it again. Maybe something changed in the last 5 or 6 hours, but I mean,
All right. So we're all
they played
confused.
North Texas played well last week. Like I had Tulane last week. North Texas kind of surprised me and put up 28 points on this Tulane defense. I thought the
North
defense
Texas
was
been
a
good
little
all
bit
year.
better.
North Texas
Yeah.
been good all year.
Yeah, but I mean, Pratt 4 TDs. They scored 35 points last week. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I'm riding.
surprised.
I'm riding with Tulane. For, I 10.5 seemed too much. Now it doesn't seem like enough. So I'm thinking of 2.5, and we'll see.
Yeah, the last 5 weeks though, John, just freaked me out. They've given up 3 points, 7 points, 23 points, 21 points, 28 points. Like the number just keeps growing. So like I don't know what's going on. The teams they play aren't getting any better. I'm talking about UAB, Memphis, and North Texas. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's actually
Yeah.
pretty interesting. All right.
So just
You guys have
working
any
it,
thoughts
working
on
it.
Marshall versus Coastal? This is the game of the year for me. This is it for me. I need Coastal to win more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
I'm taking the +4. I'm
This
just
is-
kind of riding a 9 here.
This is tough.
I know Coastal sucks. I've been watching Coastal all year. They suck. I'm aware. But
Yeah.
Marshall
Yeah.
was really good, and then they started being bad recently.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
I mean,
Again, low number.
I like Coastal too. But I mean, I looked at it and I was like, oh, I should take Marshall, but I don't know. I don't want to fade Coastal, and I do. I'm like you. I like Coastal a lot. I also have Coastal in the future. I want them to win. I don't know. Coastal's at home, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Home again points. It's not where you want to be.
Well, they just lost to Georgia State.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
True.
Marshall started out good, but they're 3.5, 4, whatever.
3.5 on the road.
Yeah, I wrote down Marshall. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna take Coastal.
Let's go.
Change
We're
it.
riding.
Wow, that was big. That was a big moment for the pod right there.
We're riding. I don't feel good about this. Let me be clear. Don't feel good. I just need it. I just need Coastal.
Hey man, I love Coastal. I've been on Coastal for a while. I have a Coastal hoodie that I wear all the time. I love
Is
Coastal.
it the same color as their turf? Because their turf is really ugly. Chip. But
The
hoodie
logo.
in that color might be sick.
No. It's a black hoodie with the Chanticleer's logo in the middle. It's awesome. It's Under Armour.
Oh,
It's awesome. Yeah.
Because in theory, I like the color, but in practice, I really hate their field.
yeah. You see a whole
Yeah.
field of it. It's like, all right, maybe it's not the best.
Yeah.
I'd love to go see a game there still though.
Yeah.
I agree.
There, and I'd like to go to Boone, North Carolina, to go see an App State game. That's where me and my brother were talking about going.
That
App
would be
State.
sick.
Yeah.
That would be sick. App State has.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be against UNC, but that would have been a good game.
Yeah.
All right, 7:00, 7:30. Tuning in to the Pac-12 matchup of the day. Colorado at UCLA. UCLA off a bye. Colorado plus 17.5. First of all, there's nothing in the world I like more than this over. 62.5. Take it 10 times. Tease it up to 80. Okay, I like the total a lot. I love Colorado plus 17.5. I'm just a little scared to take the money line because of the NFL players on the defensive line for UCLA and the D2/3 players on the Colorado offensive line. That's the best way I could say it. That's what makes me the most nervous. But I like the 17.5. I think they're going to keep it close. It's going to be a one possession game. I think Colorado could win. I have them in a parlay for the money line. Of course, I have them 17.5 though. So that's one of my best bets of the day.
Love it.
Wow.
Absolutely love it. I was thinking about taking Colorado, but I ended up staying away. I'm scared of this game, John. You've been talking about UCLA all year. Colorado
Yeah, I
hasn't
was
looked
just
too
gonna say. I
good.
thought you were gonna go a different way.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, I don't think I've gotten one Colorado game wrong all year.
Yeah,
I'm like pretty sure I haven't got one. I'm all over it. And
it's a good
the only
point.
time I get UCLA wrong is when I take them. I've never been wrong when I fade them. Listen, it's 17.5. This should be 7.5 to me. This should be a 7.5 game, and I'm struggling. I don't know who's gonna win. I'll probably still take Colorado to keep it within the number. Dante Moore's a beast, but so is Sanders, and Travis Hunter's a beast. And I think we should have to worry about the defensive line for UCLA. I think they're gonna hit Sanders a couple times. But, do you guys have thoughts?
I'm staying away.
I mean, I have UCLA. Chip
Okay.
Kelly coming off a bye. I thought he was
Hmm.
I had UCLA minus 17 and the over.
Hmm.
But you seem pretty confident about Colorado.
Everyone's fading
know,
them because they
man.
looked really bad last week. They were supposed to lose. Like I don't like
but
I
they're
don't like
still lost.
downgrading. I don't like downgrading teams for games they're supposed to lose. You know what I mean? There's just especially in college football. I mean, it means way more. There is moral victories. in any other sport that you could honestly say there are no moral victories. In
Yeah, but
college football,
UCLA's
there's literally
ranked.
moral victories. Like it actually counts to get better bowl games. Like I think Colorado's gonna come back.
I don't think
And-
Colorado was supposed to win though.
Last week,
Yeah, didn't they go like to triple overtime against Stanford?
Yeah, the Stanford game they were supposed to win.
they're supposed to win, dude, and they lost to Stanford in overtime. That's bad.
That's Colorado we're talking about.
Yeah, it's bad.
And then last week they were on a bot, or last week I don't think they played, or was Stanford last week?
October 13th was Stanford. Before
Yeah,
that was a
then-
3-point game to Arizona State.
Okay. And then USC was the one where that was fine. Like they were supposed to lose that game.
Yeah, and they covered.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oregon
17
smacked them just like they were supposed to.
17 points, a lot of points too. I don't hate it. You're talking me into it more and more.
17 and a half
I'm,
too much.
yeah, I'm gonna
But
skip
it's
it
a
for
lot of
now,
points
but-
for a reason. They keep losing.
No, but the thing is, UCLA doesn't have those big dudes. UCLA is leaky. They just have the really, really good defensive lineman in Tula.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with that. Honestly, though, I'm done for the day. I mean, I'll take JMU first quarter, first half. I have to, with UNC and see what happens if I'm behind on the day. Throw in Washington in there. But I'm done for the day on real time bets. It's not the best slate, but good games nonetheless. Games that affect my futures, game that affect conference play, games that affect bowl play.
Oh, I'm flipping all around here. Yeah, okay. My 7:00 slate. Kentucky. I've been talking about Kansas and Kentucky. I like Kentucky +4 at home against Tennessee. I think if you start betting money on Joe Milton, you have to watch Tennessee games. You'll realize it's a harrowing experience that you don't want anything to be a part of.
No, it wasn't fun last week.
At least.
It wasn't fun last week. Imagine that. I mean, that was an all-time. That wasn't just him, but that was an all-time comeback cover by Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, give me Kentucky at home for sure. Back-to-back tough games for Tennessee. Only thing that scares me about that game a little bit is that a lot of money is on Kentucky. 75% of the money right now. Another game.
Biased. Yeah.
Yeah. Another game with a lot of money right now. But I think I'm gonna do it. I want to know your guys' opinions on it. We just kind of talked about Stanford, Washington at Stanford -26.5.
That's a lot.
One of the best
was
bets
thinking the
I've
same
had
thing as
all
you,
season
yeah.
that flew under the radar is Arizona State last week against Washington. I think it was 28 points was the spread, and I think it was a close game if I remember correctly. So that was one of the easier bets I've had all year. I want to ride with Stanford on this. I really do. I just don't know if Washington has back-to-back games where they keep it that close. And on top of it, Stanford had the ultimate letdown spot. I called this as well, I believe, against who did they play last week? But Stanford, after the big win against Colorado last week, let down like crazy, and they got absolutely killed. Oh, UCLA, right? Last week they played, I think, UCLA, and UCLA killed them like 42-7. So I want to take something in this game. I'm just not sure exactly. Do you guys have any thoughts on Washington and Stanford? 26.5 points.
It's a lot. I wonder if Penix is injured or is he good? It just feels like a lot. I'll take it desperately first quarter, first half, but I really don't love the number.
Yeah, I don't know if Stanford's good enough to bet on.
Yeah, Stanford's, because I was looking at like trends and everything today. Stanford has been so bad against good teams.
Yes.
For like years now. Like they haven't covered. And I know it's a new coach this year, but their program's been terrible. Like they don't beat anyone. They don't come close to beating anyone good. So I wouldn't be surprised if Washington rolled over, but I'm not confident thinking Washington's going to cover 4 touchdowns on the road after last week. So I don't know. Maybe last week was just a hangover game from the Oregon game, but I don't know. It's weird. Stanford's also done weird stuff in the past where like beat USC. So who the hell knows? Pac-12.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden now you're at Stanford this week, and then coming up for Washington, you're at USC, home against Utah, at Oregon State, home against Washington State. Like,
crazy.
This is a crazy.
Damn, that's Washington's schedule, really?
Washington's schedule. Like this is the biggest look ahead spot you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Coming up. So yeah, give me second best bet of the day. Stanford, 26.5 points at home against Washington.
Fair enough. It's fair.
Rounding out my schedule real quick. Ohio State under 45.5. I just think after watching that Penn State game last week, I don't think Penn State's defense is really what kept them in game. It was more Kyle McCord was just not able to connect with a lot of people that were wide open against Penn State. So I think the same thing maybe happens again. Now you're on the road in Wisconsin. I know it's probably not the same energy as home against Penn State, but I just don't believe in the Ohio State offense. I think Wisconsin will be lucky if they score 10 points against this Ohio State team. So give me the under 45. And then UNC minus 11.5. Absolutely disgusting what they did last week. Bounce back spot minus 11.5 here. And then final bet of the day, 10 o'clock slate. Again, Winning Pick Weekly on Twitter, Winning P Weekly on Twitter. Might have something later in the day, depending on how my slate's going. I repented last week. It did me righteous. Oak State was my only winner in the 3 o'clock window. I'm kicking it up another level, and I'm going my final best bet of the day. Oak State minus 6.5 at home against Cincinnati. 90% of the money is on Cincinnati. I'm not sure what I'm missing.
Why?
Cincinnati has not been great all season. Oak State has come back into form, and they've been killing people. Give me Oak State minus 6.5 at home. That is my 7 o'clock schedule.
Chip, round out your card for us here.
I'll take that one too, Oak State. And I like Georgia Tech plus 12 against Carolina. I'm taking that. I know.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I know Carolina. This could be a game where Carolina just comes back after last week and just pummels Georgia Tech. But Georgia Tech's at home, so that's part of the reason I'm taking them. But I don't know that. I think more of the money's on Georgia Tech, if I'm not mistaken, but not like a lot more. I figured there would be a lot of people running to take Georgia Tech after last week, but I think Carolina kind of got exposed last week. So I like Georgia Tech in that one. And the Kentucky-Tennessee game, I have the under in that one. I didn't really feel comfortable taking Tennessee, especially on the road. And Kentucky, I don't know, man. I haven't been super impressed with them. I don't think they've beaten like a good team yet. So, and it feels like every year they go up against a good team, they kind of are unimpressive. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it with Kentucky. I do think that they'll go under 51.5.
All right.
I like that. I mean, yeah, they beat Florida earlier in the season, but then lost to Georgia pretty bad, 51-13. So yeah, we'll see.
All right, that's it for me. I mean, it's like, again, there's not many games, but just crazy important implication games.
Oh yeah,
there's not a lot of ranked team games. This is the weakest slate probably of the year so far.
With so many so many bowl games about to get affected from this Sunday.
Weekend maybe.
This is a real important games for that are gonna try and real important week probably for teams that really want to be like bowl eligible and stuff too. Teams that want to win like 8 or 9 games.
Yeah, I mean, sad to say, it's disgusting to say. We're in the fourth quarter of the season after this week, boys. If you're gonna win, you gotta win now.
For 100% for college football.
Yeah.
Like this is a huge week for Duke and Louisville. Huge week for them. It's massive game for Duke.
Yeah.
It essentially determines the conference championship. So yeah, it's gonna be good. All right. That wraps it up for another episode of Winning Picks Weekly College Slate. Thank you for joining us on Apple, Spotify, Knicks Comma, Jets Comma, ETC period YouTube. Let us know what you got. And we'll see you next week. I'm hyped. If you want NFL, we got another stream there on Winning Picks Weekly. Knicks Comma, Jets Comma, ETC. If you're looking for Jets episode, we also have that there. And that's it. Twitter, Winning P Weekly, Chim Murphy 7, Jay Meleka. We out.